Hey guys, Splatterpunk. It's Monday. I just spent 4 hours driving home. Stopped in a parking lot to get something to eat, but I thought I'd give you guys an update. The original video I had planned to go up on Thursday announcing I went to PAX East. I was dumb and I forgot to upload it, so I'm deleting it. And this is kind of an announcement. Hey, I went to PAX East. Me, Jeremy, from Barfight, and a mutual friend of ours, Lammy, who, if you watch the channel, or if you're a friend of mine, you know Lammy. You probably met him. We all went to PAX East together, which is in Boston, Massachusetts. It's a 4-hour drive by car, and we stayed at Jeremy's place. Well, I stayed at Jeremy's place. Lammy came all the way out from Missouri, and Jeremy is a good old Massachusetts boy. And this is just a roundup of, you know, just the trip in general and my thoughts on some of the things we saw or played and just PAX in general. Now, I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I have no goddamn experience with PAX before this year. So if you're expecting me to have this really in-depth analysis of how PAX has changed over the years, fucking watch another video. This is just kind of a vlog and get general content for you guys, because I know I haven't been up to date with uploading videos. I need to get back into that. I need to finish a lot of those Let's Plays. Jesus fuck. But I just haven't. It's not that I don't care or don't want to do it anymore. It's just I haven't had the time or the energy to. I mean, when you get home at 12:30 at night, it's, hey, do I want to be loud and obnoxious and keep my downstairs neighbors up? Or do I want to go to fucking bed? Generally, I want to go to fucking bed. So I need to find the time to actually do it. And particularly now that work is doing mandatory overtime, I had to use a lot of my vacation days just to go to PAX. So I haven't had the time. But don't worry, content's fair. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about PAX. And I want to get it recorded before I at least shove food in my face. Because I haven't eaten in 4 hours. And I'm a fat fuck. And I need to eat. It's the plain honest truth. Either way, PAX. You stop staring at myself in the camera. Whatever. So PAX. We got Friday and Sunday tickets. Friday we got there a little late. First thing we saw was footage, or not even footage, was Uber branded. No, sorry. The cars were Uber cars, but they were all branded for Overwatch. Now, that's not bad. I understand viral marketing, and that's not the worst bit of viral marketing if you were to do branded Uber vehicles. I mean, it's cringy, but it's not that bad. The vehicles they picked, though. Now, I don't know how many of you are from Boston. I'm not from Boston, but I've seen it, and I know it, and Jeremy told me it. 3 things you gotta know about driving in Boston, or driving in Massachusetts in general. First off, Boston... Alright, how should I word this? New York City is laid out in a grid pattern. It's street by avenue, or vice versa, all laid out in a big pattern. You can tell what you need to, where you need to go. If you get lost, guess what? Go to the next street, turn around. It's not a problem in the least bit. Massachusetts, in general, I've never gotten a straight answer about it, but it feels like they took, hey, you know those colonial roads I've been dating all the way back since, you know, the colonies were in existence? Yeah, just take those roads, widen them, and lay concrete. Or pavement. That's the only fucking difference. So there are all these twisty roundabout roads. There's the turnpike is a mess. Point number 2, Massachusetts drivers, I'm not shitting on you. Please explain. Or please understand. I'm not shitting on you. But you fuckers are insane with how you drive. I'm a good old New York boy and not exactly the best driver. I drive a Hyundai Elantra. I'm not exactly a road warrior here. They breed stunt drivers, I think, in Massachusetts. They got a big cloning vat where they just go, okay, we have the product ready. What do we do? Strap him in a car and make him drive in Massachusetts roads. If he lives, he's worthy. It's fucking dangerous there, at least for me. Eventually I got a hand of it and I wasn't panicking. That's the thing. I didn't panic on the ride home because I was now used to it. But on the way in, I was gripping my wheel, holding on to the. But this is a big diatribe. Either way, if you're not from Massachusetts, Massachusetts is fucking dangerous. This is where the Uber thing comes in. First off, 2 vehicles that we saw. One was what looked to be a Lamborghini. Don't ask me what kind. I know, it was a Lambo. I know that. Second was a massive Ford pickup truck, like one of the V8s, monster wheels. I don't think I got any photos taken, but I'm gonna, I'll put in some fucking video editing, these are the ones that we saw. I'm sure there's photos of it. And here's where it gets funny. So all these things were branded for Overwatch, big gaudy Overwatch logos, that kind of shit. If I recall correctly, the V8 Ford pickup truck was the one involved in the accident, which I don't know why I find that funny, but I love viral marketing that goes fucking horrible. And for some reason, Boston has a history of viral marketing not working. I recall there was like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force thing where they tried the movie Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie was going to come out, and they took a bunch of these little light bright signs of Enignock and the 2 little guys that look like they come from a fucking ColecoVision, and they tried, putting them all around the city, and fucking the Boston police panicked and started ripping them all down. And, this was before the Boston bombing, so it did become a logical thing. It just looked funny as fuck. Regardless, so there's that. Other things that we saw. We went down. First day, we didn't play a lot of games. We were mostly just trying to figure out what everything is and get used to it. We did do a couple things. First off, we saw a full play of, or not full play. We did a demonstration of Strafe. I did, at least. And cut of me playing Strafe. That game's fucking fun, and they've improved on it so much. They've added HUD elements. It's generally just a huge thing. The speed run was a lot different from what I played. It's really tightening up, and I love the designs of it. And of course, they've done promo art. Unfortunately, the first day we couldn't play much. We did play another Kickstarter. There was a Kickstarter booth, room, whatever, where they were showing games that were either funded through Kickstarter or are, and one was an old NES cartridge. Guys are still making games for the NES, which I've heard of, but I've never played it. A dude made a game called Super Russian Roulette, where you have to take a controller and the zapper, light gun for the NES. You put it in there, you spin the chamber, and it's a game you have to play with other people. You spin the chamber, put the zapper to your head. Well, I suppose you don't need to, but it's a party game, you should. Pull the trigger, and it'll either kill you. But here's what you can do, and some guy demonstrated to me and Lammy this. You can take the gun and shoot the CPU in it, who's, cowboy. And if you kill him, he dies, and he's out of the game. So I find that really interesting, and it came down to my friend Lammy and another guy playing against each other. First time I pulled the trigger, I blew my own brains out. That was a lot of fun, and it's really interesting to see guys trying to do stuff with the NES, with the Nintendo. Those, at least on the first day, we also spent a lot of time, or at least I did, in the arcade room, because it was the first time I got a chance to play a legal cabinet of Third Strike. I got my ass handed to me every time I played Street Fighter V against people. Got my ass handed to me every time. I generally got my ass. I was hoping to join in the Street Fighter V tourney, but apparently the invitations were all filled up, and I was telling everyone at work, "Oh my god, I'm entering my first tournament. This will be amazing!" And now I have to go in with my tail tucked between my legs, saying, "Hey, I entered the tournament. I couldn't enter the tournament because the shit was full." But whatever. It was an open tournament. I expected it to fill up. That was it for Friday. We did a bunch of shit over the weekend, walked around. Sunday we went back for the last day. I'm recording this on Monday, so most of it's still full up. We bought a couple board games, stuff like that, but we got to play more games. We got to play Red Orchestra, not Red Orchestra, I'm sorry, Tripwire, I'm sorry. We played Rising Sun, I think it's called. Rising Storm, either way. We played the second one, a demo for it. They're doing Vietnam this time. And we got to play with all the guys from Tripwire. It was a big booth. Lines were going quick because they had like 16 computers set up. We went through, Jeremy played that. It was a lot of fun. We went around, played a couple board games. We walked around, tried a couple board games, looked at stuff. And I'm missing the big event. This is the stuff that goes at. Now, this game's been out for over 12 years, I think. We played Steel Battalion. They had a tournament set up for that, and it was an open tournament. They had heats for practice rounds, and then we did that. And that game is fucking amazing. For those of you who don't know what Steel Battalion is quite easily one of the most complex mech games I've ever played. It's a game that came out for the original Xbox in God knows what years. I believe the guy told me it was published by Capcom. It's a game that requires a $200 peripheral. And the peripheral is a complete and total 2 joysticks, ignition switches, communication knobs. It's a game that, to give you an idea of how complex and cool this game is, in a multiplayer match, every time you die, and you have to hit the eject button as quick as possible to send your pilot out so he won't die. And if your pilot's killed, you can't respawn. If your mech's destroyed, you can respawn all you want. And here's the best bit. Every time you die and come back in, you have to restart your mech. And it's not a simple press X to turn the ignition. If I recall the process correctly, and I don't know if it's different for every mech, you have to first close the cockpit, then you have to hit the ignition switch, wait while DOS fucking lines boot up. Then once that does, you have a little bit of time. There's 5 switches. You have to turn on oxygen. You have to turn on your life support systems. You got to turn on, sorry for the shaking camera. You have to turn on the ignition system. You have to turn on the exhaust. You have to turn on radar. You have to turn on the interface. You have to flip 5 switches, wait for all those to fill up and get ready. Then you have to wait for all the fuel gauges to get to the exact point, hit start, and then your mech starts out. And then, even then, you don't have full functionality of your mech. You have to, at that point, you start in neutral, you have to shift up to first, and then you're just doing plotting, and then you have to shift up as you play, like shift gears. So it's pretty intense. And the fact that this came out for a console, now I can see this on a PC, particularly in the 90s, but the fact that it came out for a console, and these guys, I cannot remember the names of the guys who were running the tournament. Guys, if you see this, I was the dude in the Fatal Fury hat. I was the one that was screaming, "Okay," after you made the joke about it. Please tell me how I could support you people, because I may not be willing to drop $200 for that thing, but I want to know more about this, and maybe eventually, if I know enough, I will drop $200 on this. I had that much fun. And that was my PAX experience. I didn't get to play as many games as I hoped to, simply because the amount of time we had, and because we only had 2 days. And, oh, god damn it, I'm a fucking idiot. I forgot, we played KOF 14. Guess what? You are okay to have the graphic quality problems. You are okay to, complain about them. I kind of understand it. It's not as bad as if it plays the way it does and it improves as we get closer to launch. 14's not going to be a bad game. Will it be as great as KOF 13? Will it look as pretty as KOF 13? No, that's not going to happen. But guess what? You can have hope. You don't have to worry. I think it's going to be pretty good from what I played. It only had the 12 character build, so we didn't have Terry or any of those guys, but it had Chang, it had Kula, it had Leona, it had Iori and Kyo. I played those. I played Robert Garcia. It had King. It was not as bad as people thought. I enjoyed it. Though PlayStation, I know you're gonna listen to me, right? Give it more press. It was literally hidden in a corner of their big PlayStation thing next to 30 Uncharted multiplayers. I'm sorry. Like, I understand Uncharted's gonna be your big moneymaker. People are critical of KOF because guess what? Some of them really like KOF and they're scared. Just give them something and they will like it. Either way, this video's on 16 minutes now, and I'm just gonna upload it right away. PAX was fun. I'm looking forward to do PAX again. I'm looking forward to coming to Boston again. I had a really great time. Now I'm gonna go be a fat fuck and go eat a burger. Have a nice day, guys.